Okay.
Should I put the shirt on if you're recording?
No problem. Let's go. The main thing is that we learn. Nothing else matters.
Yes.
Let's go. Okay. Now, there's so much to say, but it's not a good way to start here. I'll tell you what. Let's frame the discussion. I want to frame the discussion in the following way, by asking a question just before we delve into Tzodok. Imagine I was to give you, or you were to give me, or if somebody was to give somebody else, somebody as a token of love, the most amazing, unbelievable, precious gift. But you wrapped it in barbed wire and you accompanied it with machine guns and Doberman pinschers and Rottweilers. And when you gave it to the person, you scared them so much that they actually died. You hear my question?
Yes. Yes.
That is Matan Torah.
Yes.
Ahavas olam, says Reb Tzodok. Ahavas olam beis Yisrael amcha ahavta. We say in Mariv, because Ahavas olam beis Yisrael amcha ahavta, because you loved us an eternal, everlasting love. Therefore, Torah u'mitzvos chukim u'mishpatim eisanu limadata. Therefore, you gave us Torah. You gave us Torah because you love us. You gave us Torah as a manifestation of that love. That is what Torah is. Torah is Hashem giving us the most precious gift that he can possibly give and share with us because he loves us. Says, and therefore my question is, and we're going to see perhaps in more detail, possibly, time permitting, look at the method and the manner that he gave it to us. He scared us to within an inch of our lives and we actually died, as you know.
Yes.
That would not appear to be the right way to give. Whoops, I don't know what happened there. Would not appear to be the right way to give a lovely present as love. V'hu, says Reb Tzodok, v'hu brocha la Torah. In case you think that brocha, ahavas olam, has nothing to do with Torah, it is a brocha la Torah, as the Gemara says in brachas, shekvar niftar ba'ahava rabba, because you already have said the bracha on, like it says, the Gemara says, kvar niftar ba'ahava rabba. When we say in the morning, ahava rabba, and at night we say ahavas olam, or depending on your nusach, Sfarad, whatever, that is a bircha, that has the halachic status of a birchas haTorah. So much so, the Gemara says, what would be if somebody forgot to say birchas haTorah? According to one opinion in the Gemara, you're yotza already because he said ahava rabba or ahavas olam. So it's a birchas haTorah. Now, says Reb Tzodok, the following amazing statement. Ula haTorah zochu al yedei ha'ahava. How did we merit? How were we zoicha to get the Torah? Al yedei ha'ahava. Through ahava. Now, this is an ambiguous statement. What does he mean? Does he mean...
we were not zoichet all to get the Torah. No, it was a gift to us.
Now here, oh boy, you've started something interesting. I'll just share with you very quickly, because we're not going to go into it today. But you're asking a good point. You should know that even getting chesed from Hashem, here's an irony, here's a paradox. Paradox is you have to be zoicha to get chesed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's what he means over here. Ula haTorah zochu al yedei ha'ahava. You're right, Torah is a gift. By definition, it's a gift, and we'll see if we get time. That's why the depth of Torah comes to us when we are asleep. Shlomo HaMelech is given the greatest level of Chochmah in a dream. And he's going to come to that, and that is the meaning of the sleeping that we did the night before Shavuos, which he's going to twist on its head. Mm-hmm. But first point, we need to question, what does that mean? It sounds like we were zeicha to Torah al yedei ha'ahava, because there was a midah of ahava manifest in the world through an individual. Therefore, Hashem reciprocated likewise and gave us the Torah. By the way,
Abraham was Abraham.
He's coming to that. Very good. That's what he's coming to in a minute. But by the way, just as an aside, I like to describe. Think about the Shema. The Shema is a sandwich. I call it the sandwich of love. Why? Because what do we say? We say, Baruch atah Hashem, haboicher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ahava. Or at night we say, Oyehev amo Yisrael. Then we say Shema, and then we respond, we reciprocate. Right back at you. We acknowledge the love and connection that we have with you, which is unique. So Shema is the sandwich of love. It's sandwiched by Oyehev amo Yisrael and V'ahavtos Hashem Elokecha. You with me?
Yeah.
The starting point, though, is interesting. Because here, Reb Tzodok is saying, like you said quite rightly, V'lochein, Avraham Avinu, last line, Avraham Avinu olav hashalom shahoya midosei midas ahava. Avraham Avinu's midah was midah of ahava. His chilboi habeis alofim Torah. The Gemara says in the beginning of Avodah Zarah, the Gemara divides the history of the world into three 2,000-year chalokim, and the first one is called Alpayim Toihu. The first 2,000 years of the world were just nothingness, void, because the world had no justification for existence. Avraham Avinu was born in the year 1948. It's an easy one to remember. 1948 to creation. If you say that he recognized Hashem, depending on which Mama Chazal you say, but if you say it's the one when he was 40-something, then it's almost to the year that at the year 2000 to creation, Alpayim Torah started. So Reb Tzodok says brilliantly, the Gemara reckons the beginning of 2,000 years of Torah starts from Avram. So he's made the connection between Avram and Torah. Ach, ba'Avraham motzinu Avraham oihavi. The Torah calls Avram Avinu, Avraham oihavi, Avram my beloved. He loved Hashem. Umimela al yedei ze zocha she'ohavoy Hashem yizbarach gam kein k'mayim haponim leponim kein lev ha'odam. Kein lev ha'odam la'odam nidrash b'sifri gam al Hashem yizbarach. Wow. Says Reb Tzodok, Avram Avinu loved Hashem. And by the way, let's put this into some context. I'll explain to you the way I understand.
What is love? Like ahava, he's speaking in what sense, or from like, if you speak about Avram, I mean the Rambam is saying that the love of, I mean he was a loving giver, but he was also he was going into fights with different people regarding like the love of Hashem and stuff like that. It's not a peacemaker. Like, well,
let's not. Sometimes for love you have to be tough, but that's not a contradiction. In fact, the greatest love, as we know, the greatest love is tough love. But be that as it may, let me just maybe first. By the way, that's in the Midos when we say Gevura Shebechesed. The first week of the Omer, Gevura Shebechesed means because of Chesed, therefore there is Gevura. But the root of everything Avraham Avinu did was Ahava. Now let's just quickly prove it and explain it. It's very straightforward. Avraham Avinu discovers that there is a Borei Olam, and for possibly, depending on which Mama Chazal you go along with, for anything up to 60, 70 years, he dedicates his life to an entity, to a being that he has no personal experience of, and therefore he has no relationship with, but he's prepared to sacrifice his life and allow himself to be thrown in the furnace because of a commitment to another entity that he actually really is an infinite entity, and therefore he could have no reasonable expectation of ever having a meaningful relationship with him. If that isn't love, I don't know what is. So that's the pshat. And Mimela, what happened? HaKadosh Baruch Hu midah keneged midah. He says there's a sifri. He says it's nidrash b'sifri. The Medrash says that when we say, the Pasuk says Kamayim aponim leponim kein lev ha'odam la'odam, just like water faces man and the mirror image, so too the heart of a person towards another person, meaning that people respond to the sincerity and love from another person. The Medrash says that refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Avraham Avinu loves Hashem, demonstrates the love. HaKadosh Baruch Hu reciprocates, and that's why the 2,000 years of Torah is said to start with Avraham. It's rooted in love. Okay? Ubeyaakov Omer. Now, before we go any further, by the way, because this we could go forever, really. But I want to pose another question. If Pesach is Keneged Avraham and Sukkot is Keneged Yaakov, that means Shavuos is Keneged Yitzchak. Now,
Yitzchak, Rosh Hashanah is Keneged Yitzchak.
Slow down. I'm talking about the Shalosh Regalim.
Yes, okay.
Shalosh Regalim. In the Shalosh Regalim, the Tur says, B'Shem the Medrash, that Avram is Keneged Pesach is Keneged Avram, Sukkot is Keneged Yaakov, and Yitzchak is Keneged Shavuos. So before we go any further, we need to raise the level of the paradox, if you like, to fit in with what he is saying over here. And the truth is, the question would stand even without Reb Tzodok. It's a question that every right-thinking individual needs to ask. If Torah is a manifestation of Hashem's love for us, and because Hashem bochar bonu mikol ha'amim v'nosan lanu es Torah, so how come, therefore, do we associate Shavuos and Matan Torah with Yitzchak, whose midah is Gevura and Pachad? So there is the very basic and important question. Even if we don't get to it later, at least I want to throw it out. And if you think, it really relates back to the question I started with this evening, which is a loving present wrapped in barbed wire. It's all the same vault. It's all the same vault. Let's keep going and let's see whether we get any more clarity. You with me, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Ubeyaakov Omer ume ahavoscha she'ohavta oisoi. We say in davening in the morning, we say, so we talk about a Yaakov as Hashem loves him. Now, here he brings a posuk, which is the beginning of the Novi Hosea. No, is it Hosea? It's Malachi, sorry. I think it's Malachi. Ohavti Eshem Omar Hashem. It's the Haftorah in, I think it's Toldos, I might be wrong. There's one of the Haftorahs there, starts with the posuk. Maso Dvar Hashem Biyad Malachi. Yes, it's Malachi. Ohavti Eschem Omar Hashem. Hashem says, I loved you. And we turn around to Hashem and we said, Bameh Ahavtonu. How, show us that you love us. And now starts the line over here. Haloi Och Esov LiYaakov. Va'oihev Es Yaakov. Ve'es Esov Sonesi. Says the Novi, behold, Esau was a brother to Yaakov. There were two peas in a pod. Va'oihev es Yaakov. I loved Yaakov. Hainu. Now here, Reb Tzodok says a quite amazing thing, and this is something he says a number of times in his Sfarim. The way he puts it is as follows: love, ahava, is you cannot identify a cause, a reason for love. Love, by definition, defies rational explanation. Ein ta'am, sometimes he says it like this, ein ta'am l'rotzon. You want something because you want it. It is an expression of your essence, and it's a game you can play. You know, like an annoying 3-year-old. When you ask them to do something and they say why, and you say because this, and then they say why, and it just goes on and on and on forever. Until finally, so let's do the same thing. We could do the same thing with anybody. Let's say somebody says, I like chocolate. Okay, why do you like chocolate? I like the taste. Why do you like the taste? In the end, you just have to come down to, I like it because I like it. I just like it. There is some sort of, okay, this is a superficial, shallow Beispiel. But the concept is that at the root of somebody's essence is a connection and an affinity to something. And ahava, he says, is beloy ta'am. So he's saying as follows, and Hashem is actually demonstrating that his love for Klal Yisrael is actually, it's not rational. Now, listen to what he's done. He started off explaining that with Avraham, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's love for Avraham was based on, it was reciprocal. Because Avraham loved Hashem, Therefore, Kamayim upon him, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves him back in turn. Now he's saying something very different. He's now saying, based on this pasuk, that actually the love that Hashem has for Yaakov is without precedent. It's not as a consequence of a previous action or something by Yaakov. And the proof is as follows. Because Yaakov and Esav are brothers. They both are children of Yitzchak and Rivka, one of the Avos and the Imahos. They're both exactly the same. And yet Hashem almost arbitrarily, we have to be careful what we're saying over here, but it appears to be arbitrary. Now, when something is arbitrary, then you can't start rationalizing it, because that's what it means. And when you have two things that are basically the same and you choose one over the other, then that is a demonstration of the fact that you just elementally prefer one over the other. And that's what he's saying. So, Hainu ahava beloy ta'am. Now listen to this. Let me just finish the sentence. Then we can ask. That means even if subsequently Yaakov will then act like an Esav, or Esav mislabesh la'asis liYaakov, or Esav, and here's a sneaky word, mislabesh. This is of course a play on the words with when he dresses up. Yeah, but Esav mislabesh la'asis liYaakov afal pi kain. Nevertheless, this has nothing to do with our actions. It's elemental. Now, here, this goes even deeper. Says Hashem, I love Yaakov, and I detest Esav. And therefore, the rejection and the intensity of the rejection of Esav serves to prove the depth and the intensity of the love for Yaakov. Okay,
but
you want to ask something?
The love for Yaakov is unintentional, meaning that without any precedence before, and the love to Abraham was connected to because he loved him. Correct. So yeah. my understanding of ahava or of half is actually like it comes from giving, right? So I thought the first, as you said about Abraham, or as Tzodok said about Abraham, that the giving, or actually Shavuos, half is like Hashem is giving himself through the Torah, right?
Whoa, slow down. No. Rega. He said as follows. With Abraham, he said, Abraham loved and demonstrated his love for Hashem unconditionally.
Yeah.
As a result, HaKadosh Baruch Hu initiated a loving response of Torah. The 2,000 years of Torah start with Abraham. But with Yaakov, he's going to say now, because it's arbitrary, and I am conscious of the fact that I'm using the word arbitrary, it's wrong. I have to be very careful. I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm saying it's arbitrary insofar as it is not triggered by an action on behalf of the person. It's almost the other way around. With Avram, Avram initiates. With Yaakov, Hashem initiates, and therefore, yeah.
But because of Schod, because he already initiated, because I mean, Yaakov is the grandson of.
No. Okay, so
each of them is just separate, like channels.
No. Oh gosh. Okay, Nikita, your question is a good one. I have an answer. It's just going to take too long. Okay. The bottom line is. I mean, if you ever get time, have a look at the Malbim on that posuk, and the Malbim has the most astounding mahalach. But the point is, and okay, I'll give you the Malbim's answer in a nutshell. Listen to this. Yaakov and Esav are brothers. If it's from the perspective as what you were suggesting of Zechus Avos, then Esav should be equal to Yaakov. It's the fact that they are both twin brothers coming from an Avraham and a Yitzchak, and nevertheless, one is championed and the other one is spurned and rejected and despised. That shows that it's not just because of the Zchus Avos. It's the other way around. You hear that?
Yes.
That's the Malbim in a nutshell. It's brilliant. Haloi och esav liYaakov nu Hashem. Says Hashem, I will prove to you that I love you. Because the way the Malbim puts it, the first passage there in that Haftarah says, Ahavti eschem Omar Hashem, I love you, says Hashem. Va'amartem ba'meh havtanu. We turn around to Hashem and we say, oh, how do I know you love me for who I am? You just love me for my looks, or for my car, or for my money, or for my yichus, or whatever. And Hashem says, well, I'll prove it to you. Do you know how I'll prove it to you? By taking two children, grandchildren of Avraham, children of Yitzchak and Rivka, and I will spurn and reject one totally. That's Amalek, by the way. Va'acharisoi adei oved. He'll be written out of the script. He'll go to oblivion. And Yaakov will be chosen. But that's only kind of as a result of our insecurity. It goes deeper, but let's move on. I'm scared I'm going to get caught away. You hear that? Let's go on. Now he says the most amazing thing. Velochein, therefore, because in contrast to Avraham, who initiates the relationship. Now, actually, as I'm saying this, it's a problem with the Maharal. Okay, let's shelve it for the moment. The Maharal in Netzach Yisrael Perek Yud Aleph has a big yisoid. He says it in Gurari in the beginning of Lech Lecha as well. I'm going to have to re-examine this, but let's go with Reb Tzodok for the moment. In contrast to Avraham, who initiated the loving relationship, and Hashem responded to him, and initiated and proceeded with 2,000 years of Torah. In contrast to that, Hashem's love for Yaakov appears to be arbitrary, is initiated by him. Velochein, therefore, Zocha Yaakov lechol hadivrei Torah. Avraham only gets the beginning. The process starts. Beis alofim Torah, the 2,000 years of Torah, starts with him. Yaakov completes the process and makes it whole. Velochein zocha Yaakov lechol hadivrei Torah. K'mo shene'emar titein emes liYaakov. Titein is a matana. Emes zu Torah, says the Gemara in Brachos. So Yaakov, now you can see where he's going to go with this. Avram's going to be the Torah Shebechsav, and Yaakov's going to be the Torah Shebal Peh. You can see where this is going. Yeah?
Yeah. Wow.
Therefore, Yaakov gets the whole Divrei Torah. Now here, the next bit is classic Reb Tzodok. He takes a medrash that everybody knows, and which the Magen Avram quotes as being something negative, and in classic Reb Tzodok, he turns it on its head. Let's do this. Says the medrash. Uba medrash Rabba Shir Hashirim Aleph Yud Ches. Lefi shesheno shel atzeres areva. Because the sleep of Shavuos is sweet. V'halayla kitzora. And the night is short. Yoshnu lahem Yisrael kol oisa halayla. So Klal Yisrael slept the entire night. Uba Magen Avram Siman Tov Tzadi Dalad Isa. The Magen Avram in Shulchan Aruch very famously says, Shemitam zen urim kol halayla, that this is the reason that we have the minhag to be awake all night, l'sakeim zeh, to rectify this, because this was something negative. This was a pigam. This was a complaint against Klal Yisrael, as is the way it's usually portrayed. Says Reb Tzodok, no. V'loshoin areva loy mashma shehoya b'zeh eze pigam v'chet shehoya tzorech l'sakeim. It is not implied in the text, or possibly in the context, that this was actually something negative that required rectification. No, the Medrash seems to be saying this as something positive. Sweet, the sleep on Shavuos is areva. It is sleep. It's not as if, they were lazy, so they... No, there is a Shavuos shlof. There is something called Sheino Shel Atzeres, which is areva, which is sweet.
Arizal is also saying it.
Sorry?
Arizal is also saying it about Shabbos and about Shavuos, that the shlof.
Okay, good. Yeah. So let's try and explain this. Let's see how we can explain this. Hakohen. Dichsiv im Hashem lo yivne bayis shav amlu boinov boy shav lachem mashkime kumachre sheves It says, those of you that get up early in the morning, go to bed late at night, Shav lochem. Shav lochem. It's a waste of time. Oichle lechem hoatzevim. You eat the bread. I'm going to be a bit provocative here. The bread of depression. Lechem hoatzevim. Kain yitain liyadidoi sheina. Kain, verily, in truth, yitain liyadidoi sheina. Hashem will give sleep to his beloved one. Now this is very cryptic. The Pasuk in Tehillim and the Shir HaMalos, what's going on? Zogt Reb Tzodok, beautiful, classic Reb Tzodok. Hinei had divrei Torah nikra gam kein lechem. Behold, divrei Torah is called lechem. K'moshe nidrash, as the Gemara says in Chagig on the Pasuk, l'chu lachamu b'lachami. So Torah is called lechem. V'yesh lechem hoatzovim. There is such a thing as the bread of, I'm going to call it depression, although that's probably not a nice translation, but it means that which comes with perspiration and toil and hard work. Hainu shehadivrei Torah ba be'amal v'yagia v'atzev. As we know, if you want to be a Talmud Chacham, you got to learn. You got to sweat, blood, sweat, and tears. Ushleima hamelech olav hashalom. Ksiv bei v'Hashem ohavoi. Ohavoi. It says that Hashem loved Shlomo HaMelech. V'ne'emar v'yitn yikra shemo Yedidia ba'avur Hashem. He was called Yedid Ka, the friend, the Yedid of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So, Loi nimsar kol chochma tata'a Torah sheba'al peh b'laylo achas b'chaloim. Shlomo HaMelech is Yedidia. Now let's go back and look at the pasuk. Says Reb Tzodok. Shav lachem at top of the screen. Shav lachem mashkim ekum achrei sheves eichle lechem atzovim. It is almost futile. It's too strong, not futile. I haven't got the alt scroll here. Shav lachem, it's shav. The people that eichle lechem atzovim, and of course, just to be very clear, Reb Tzodok is not chas v'sholem undermining the value and the imperative of struggling and toiling in Torah, chas v'sholem. But he's saying that there is another dimension in which the lechem ha'atzovim, the Torah that is acquired through the sadness, the angst, the toil, because kein yiten lididai sheina, there's another dimension of Torah where HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives to his beloved Yedidai, that's Yedidia Shlomo HaMelech, he gives it to him sheina, in the sleep. Shlomo HaMelech was zoicha to the depth of Torah. He becomes Chacham Mikol Adam, which is the Chacham of Torah Shebal Peh. When did he get it? He didn't sit and toil to get it. He got it in his sleep. Kein yitein liyedidai sheina.
But this is
because,
so this is because he is Shlomo Melech. It's not that like anyone else would get the das in the sleep. No.
Correct. Correct. 1 second. Nachon. I'm not. He's again. What he's doing is, as he always does, he is identifying the concepts within Torah, and he's showing that Avraham Avinu there is one concept, and with Yaakov and Shlomo that he's about to make the connection, there is another one. Mm-hmm. Okay. So v'chein b'Yaakov olav hashalom dichsiv v'oyhev es Yaakov ahava b'loy ta'am. Similarly, with Yaakov Avinu, where it is Ava B'loi Tam, without any reason, as we explained before, what does it say? V'hinei Hashem nitzav olav. Behold, he gets the greatest revelations. Sheniglaloi ha'hisgalus b'chaloi. He gets this revelation again in a dream. V'hainu, D'Avram olav hashalom ksiv v'elikim hashes halchu avoisai lefonov. About Avraham Avinu, it says. He says about Avraham Avinu, my forefathers, that means Avraham, walked before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in front of him. Avraham is zocher to Torah al yidei hishtadlusoi, through his own work. He loved Hashem using ahava. Yaakov Omar al atzmoi, Ha'elokim ha'roye oisi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu shepherded me me'oidi ad hayom hazeh. From the moment of my very existence. What is he stressing? Me'oidi. He means from the moment that I began to exist. Meaning that it was not preceded by anything on my part. From the moment, the very first moment of my very existence, HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose to shepherd me right from the beginning. Not as a result of anything I did. Yaakov is saying, it all came from Hashem and nothing from me. Lochein, therefore, Zocha b'chaloim, he was zoich in a chaloim, v'hine Hashem nitzav alav. Hashem stands over him, v'omar, and what does he say? Manoira hamokoim hazeh. Pirush noira, says Reb Tzodok. This is every word here of Mamish Diamond. Pirush noira. What does noira mean? Noira means it's awesome. Have you ever had in your life? I had it. You know, when you're in, when you have an experience that leaves you awe-struck. So the first time, I've only been once to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Niagara Falls.
Yeah. So you hear about it. You can even see it on YouTube. But when you go in the boat, you know, the Maid of the Mist, and you go in there and you're driving towards it, it is awe-inspiring. Now, what did you do to achieve that? Nothing. You didn't do anything. It impacts you. That's what noira means. Says the Reb Tzodok, Pirish noira, shenoifel hapachad Hashem mimela umeatzmai.
You open yourself. You do something.
No. Rega. 1 second. He was asleep. He couldn't do anything. Yaakov was asleep. He woke up and he said, Manoira hamokoim hazeh. He did nothing. He went to sleep. He got it.
Yeah, but sleep is also best. I mean, he's not. Yeah, when you sleep, you're also kind of open, right? If someone wants to get you like in a kind of trauma situation, right? He puts you also into sleep, right? Sleep is a mode where you can get information easily.
Nobody is, of course, Nikita. Of course, you can get information, but you just said it. You get information. You are not awake and conscious and deciding to do avodah and hishtadlus. Sleep is the metaphor for being passive and receptive. And therefore, this is what he's saying. He woke up and he said, Manoira amokim hazeh, pirish noira, shenoifel hapachad Hashem b'meila umeatzmai. Why? The midas Yitzchak, who pachad Yitzchak. The midah of Yitzchak is pachad Yitzchak. Hainu, what is pachad? Shemetzayer lefonov hapachad v'hamoira. That means Yitzchak Avinu chose to create an awareness of Hashem in front of him the whole time. And therefore, that's pachad. Masha'in ke noira hainu mimela. Shenoifel olav hapachad v'yira mitzad Hashem yizbarach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him the noira. He woke up, he was asleep. Uksiv reish is chochma yiras Hashem. Uksiv hein yiras Hashem hi chochma. She'al yedei hayira zoichel chochma. Through yiras shamayim, you merit the depth of chochma. V'litoim ta'am b'divrei Torah. Now this is to enjoy, in Yiddish we say the geschmack, I know in German it's wrong, but to have a geschmack in learning, somebody who does not have Yiras Shamayim cannot have a geschmack in learning. It's not possible. Not possible. V'zeh ikar v'yesoid Torah shebal peh. What is Torah shebal peh? Torah shebal peh is the depth and the beauty of the Torah. Hainu ta'amei ha-Torah. Lahargish ta'am b'divrei Torah. And that comes about as a result of Yira. U'k'moi shanu mefarshim, like the Gemara says, Amagala dvarim shekisatik yomin, my nihu. Ta'amei Torah litzom lahargish ta'am or b'divrei Torah. V'zeh zocha b'chaloim. This he received in the chaloim. What did he get? What did Hashem say to him? Shav lechem ashkum mikum Hashem zech lelechem atzavim. 1 second, please. You can see where he's going with this. He is going to say, this is the, go back to the Medrash, Sheino shelatzeres areva, the sweetness. You can see what he's done now. It's brilliant. The sweetness, the love of Torah, which comes from the Rebbeinu Shalom, came b'chaloim. V'chein ba'alayla shekoidem matan Torah. Acha Yitzias Mitzrayim. Zochu Yisrael. The night before Matan Torah, after Yitzias Mitzrayim, Klal Yisrael was Zoicha. Shekeshe Yikablu Acha Kachas HaTorah, that the next day when they would receive the Torah, Yehiyeh Nikva Bohem Adivrei Torah, Heinu Sheyukva Bohem Hayira V'Hacheshek L'Divrei Torah. It will then, from that moment on, they were Zoicha in the sleep, and they got it, says Tzodok, through the sleep, like Yaakov and like Shlomo. What? Lemantia Yiras Hashem al Pneichem, as the Pasuk says, that the Yira would be on there, and the Yira goes hand in hand with the Cheshek L'Divrei Torah, V'hu Reishis Chochma Yiras Hashem. And that is what the Medrash means, and that, of course, is why he goes on to say it's a night, because night is also always Torah Shebal Peh. The Yoim is Havaya, which is Torah Shebechsav, and the night is Adnos Aleph Daled Nud Yud, which is Midas HaYira. And I'm rushing ahead now because we are, I've got to go shortly, but therefore, that's the basic idea he's saying here. V'achshav, shekvar nitna Torah mitam, now that the Torah has been given, now we need, this is pshat in the Medrash, he says, not like the Magen Avraham. Now, because what Klal Yisrael was zoicha to that night through sleeping, like you said quite rightly, Nikita, we can't always expect to get it through sleeping. Not because they did something wrong, but because if we want to buy into that and to demonstrate the geschmack, the cheshek, the love that we have for Torah, and specifically for Torah Shebal Peh, the way that we nowadays at a lower level, the way that we can achieve that on Shavuos is by staying up all night and learning and enjoying it. That's how we do it. Says the, he quotes the Zohar, the boy lemile b'hay laila b'oiraisa. The Baal Peh says the Zohar, you have to dafka learn Torah Shebal Peh on that night. U'b'mokim acher. In another place, the Zohar says lemile b'oiraisa mitorah l'nevim and nevim ksuvim b'droshes t'kroi b'rozei b'hainu roz gematria oir, etc. That is the basic idea that he's saying over here. And I just want to share, I just want to share with you another thing on my screen, please. Hold on. No, let me find it. Bear with me. There. I want to share this with you. I'll explain to you what it is very quickly. So this is a sefer called Ma'alei Satorah. Ma'alei Satorah is a beautiful, very important sefer written by the brother of the Vilna Gaon, Rabbi Avraham, the brother of the Gaon, and there's a commentary on it, one of my favorite svarim, by the Talmud of the Vilna Gaon. He's known as Peh Shlishi Lahagra. That's the Makubal Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chava. And Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chava wrote an amazing perush on it called Or Torah, very deep perush. And I want to just show you one thing which I'd like to connect to this from Tzodok, and then we'll call it a night. He says over here, the brother of the Gaon says over here, I Ois Teslov, he says as follows. The Yira, I've put it in, this is my sefer. This is actually one of my airplane svarim. I don't know why, but for years I've always tried, I learned this on the plane. It just puts me in really in a great place. He says, if you look in the Torah, you'll see the concept of fearing Hashem is there 52 times. Therefore, listening, the concept of listening to Hashem is also 52 times in the Torah. They are one and the same thing. Hayira v'hashmiya. Fearing and hearing. Yira comes from listening. Says Rabbi Yitzchak Chava.
Look, 1 second. This is an interesting connection. I wouldn't think of that one.
It's a whole shia, Nikita. It's a big shia. It's about Torah Shebechsav and Torah Shebal Peh. One of them you see, one of them you hear. One of them is Bechina B'Riyah, one of them is Bechina of Shmiya. And that's Chochma and Bina. We can't go into everything in one shia.
Yes, all right.
Okay, but then he goes on to say, he goes on to say basically that in order, says Rabbi Yitzchak Kaiser here, Ois Tesvav, Ein Adam Yochel Lav Lidei Yira, Ki Im Alidei Esek HaTorah. The only way you can achieve Yira is through learning Torah. Now, don't ask me that I've just contradicted myself because we said that Yira precedes Chochmah, and now we're saying Yira follows Chochmah, because we're talking about two different types of Yira. One is Yira Sa'oinish, one is Yira Sa'roimamus. Ki al yedei ha-Torah masig roimamusa yizbarach shmai. Through Torah, you get an appreciation of the awesomeness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ugdulasoi v'tuvoi v'chazdoi man ivroim. And this is a yira which comes together with ahava. And this is what is meant when Moshe Rabbeinu says to Klal Yisrael be'ismat and Torah, they said to him, Dabar atam nishma, omer al tira'u, ki levavur nasas eshem, uvavur tiras al nechem l'tifechto. Ki oz hisigu kol ha-Torah, shebechlal b'chlal, but you know there are 620 letters in the Aseres HaDibros, which is gematria keser. Umizeh ba'u lidei yiras horoimemus. Now,
and that's why Yitzchak, and that's why Shavuos.
Yeah, 1 minute. Very good, you're getting that. Vashmiyahu havona b'Torah. Shmiya is understanding of Torah. K'mishakosov dova ki shomei daber ki shomei avdecha ki mekoyer haTorah hu miyira. The mekoyer of Torah, the source of Torah, is yira. K'mishakosov, as the Chazal say when they talk about Shavuos and the Aseres HaDibros, they say mipi hagvura shomanu. We heard them mipi hagvura. It says vayidaber Eloikim. That's midas hadin. Ugvura hu b'gematria yira.
But yira saroimemus, not yira sa'oinus.
Beseda, but it's yira, gvura, and yira and Torah are one and the same thing. And the answer, therefore, very quickly is as follows: the motivation for giving us the Torah is ahava. What is Torah? Torah is din, yira. That's what Torah is. It comes mi piagvura. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Rachmana. Rachmana Omar. He is the Rachamana. And the reason he gives it to us is ahava. But what is Torah? Torah is the most powerful thing there is. Torah is gvura. Vayidaber Elokim. He gave it to us and he wrapped it in barbed wire and he scared us to the point of death, literally, because that is what Torah is. And if we don't have that appreciation, we don't understand the love, the gift that he's giving us, the awesomeness of the gift. And that's why Yitzchak also, Yitzchak is Shavuos. But Yitzchak, never forget, Yitzchak is Avram's son. Avram Hoilides Yitzchak. The root of Yitzchak, of Gdin, is Ahava, is Avram.
Yeah.
And the child of the two of them is Torah Shebal Peh, is Yaakov. Titen Emes le Yaakov. And that is the depth of Torah Shebal Peh, and that is, I think, what we kind of wanted to get through tonight. So I hope that was at least something of some value.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was
no
awesome.
Problem. It was good to see you, and good Yom Tov. We'll be in touch beforehand, hopefully.
Yeah,
take care. Nice to see you.
All the best.
Be well. Good night. Bye. Bye.